we're heading towards the resource person and we're interacting. The sessions were not the monologue, but the sessions were the dialogue. Number of questions were coming from the participant. This itself indicates that they were thirsty for the knowledge and they were orienting for the quenching the thirst in the form of the knowledge. Number of questions have been satisfied by the resource person. With this, I welcome the dignitaries for the validatory function. I welcome first of all today's chief guest, Dr. Manoj Borkar, Head Department of Zoology, Carmel College, Nuam, Goa, as the chief guest of the validatory function. I also welcome Dr. V.N. Shinde sir, Registrar, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, as the president of the validatory function. I must appreciate and say all those resource persons, those who are joined on the online session. Yes, thanks for your valuable contribution. And again, welcome for the validatory function. I welcome all my faculty members, my colleagues, and also the head of the departments and the participants from various colleges and institutes for the validatory function of the lecture series on zoology in the 21st century. Now, may I request Dr. S.M. Gaikwad, Organizing Secretary, to deliver the validatory speech, please. Dr. S.M. Gaikwad, sir, please.
Thank you very much, Bilal, sir. Thank you. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Manoj Borkar, sir, the chief guest at the valedictory function of the 6-day lecture series on zoology in 21st century. Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir, the president of this function. Professor Ashish Deshmukh, the convener of the lecture series and head of the zoology department. Professors from different institutes, my colleagues, dignitaries, researchers, research students, and all other present here. Dear friends, we know that the whole country is celebrating the 75th anniversary of independence with the name of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive independent India. At the same time, the Shivaji University is celebrating its Diamond Jubilee year, that is 60th year. In this connection, the Department of Zoology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur organized a 6-day lecture series with the theme Zoology in 21st century. About 750 people registered for the lecture series and took advantage of the lectures. We did live streaming of the lectures on YouTube so that no one should be deprived of the lecture if there are any problems while logging into Zoom. I would especially like to mention that so far, 2,199 people have watched Professor Gilbert's lecture on YouTube. For this series of lectures, we had invited 12 renowned scientists, doctors, researchers, and professors from India and abroad who were involved in zoology, and they shed light on various aspects of the zoology and added the knowledge to the participants. On the first day, Dr. Kersi Auri, in his keynote address, explained the problem of human reproduction with respect to endocrinology in very simple language and resolve the doubts of everyone. Notably, Professor Scott Gilbert, a world-renowned professor at the University of Helsinki, Finland, emphasized the importance of symbiotic interactions in animal development in his simple and lucid language. Dr. J. Francis Borgio from Saudi Arabia has provided a nice information on molecular biology, PCR, RT-PCR, microarray sequencing, and next generation sequencing. He took us on a virtual tour of his state-of-the-art laboratory. Dr. Sharda Sawant from Actrek Tata Memorial Center, Mumbai, explained electron microscope and its application, as well as information on cancer caused by tobacco. Also, Mr. Suhas Vaingankar spoke on biodiversity in Northern Western Ghats, Dr. Rutuja Kolte on biodiversity on plateaus, Professor B.R. Chavan spoke on employment opportunities in aquaculture, Dr. Niyaz Ahmed on drug resistance in bacteria, Dr. Subhash Rajpurohit on water balance in insecticides, Dr. Varsha Vadigaonkar on protein sequencing, and Dr. Manoj Borkar on technology-driven wildlife research. Dr. Rahul Koth showed the specimen of British animals uh, the animals which were collected during British era at BNHS Mumbai. Dear friends, we have the support and guidance of many to carry out this lecture series successfully. I thank all of you here. I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor D.T. Shirke sir, Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. P.S. Patil sir, and the Registrar of this university, Dr. V.N. Shinde sir, for their guidance and encouragement in organizing this lecture series. I would like to thank the administrative staff of Shivaji University for helping me to carry out this program and fulfilling the requirements for this program. I would like to express my special thanks to Dr. Manoj Borkar sir for joining us and for introducing us to very good speakers, Dr. Kirsi Avri from Mumbai and Dr. Sharda Sawant from ACTREC Tata Memorial Center, Mumbai. I would also like to thank the head of the department, Professor Ashish Deshmukh, for always taking an active part in the lecture series and allowing me to work freely. At the same time, all the teaching colleagues, Professor S.R. Enkarchi, Professor Nitin Gamble, Professor M.U. Alvekar, Professor Madhav Vilave, and Dr. Edi Zadav. Non-teaching staff, research students in my department took active part in this series and contributed a lot for the success of this lecture series. In particular, Dr. Anna Gopne carried out the task of online registration, Zoom control, brochure preparation, etc. very responsibly. At this moment, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to all the known and unknown people, because I believe that this lecture series has gone well because of the cooperation of all of them. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Over to you, Bilal sir.
Thank you, Dr. S.M. Gaikwad, sir. Now, may I call upon convener and head of our department, Professor Ashish Deshmukh, to deliver the valedictory speech. Professor Deshmukh, sir, please.
Thank you, Professor Vilave, sir. Honorable President of the valedictory function, Registrar of the University, Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir. Guest of the honor, Dr. Borkar, sir. Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor D.T. Shirke. Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor P.S. Patil. Honorable Dean of Faculty of Science and Technology, Professor R.K. Kamath, sir. Honorable guest speakers, Professor Scott Gilbert, Dr. Borgio, Dr. Vaingankar, Dr. Kolte, Dr. Khoth, Dr. Niaz Ahmed, Dr. Sharda Sawant, Professor Chauhan, Dr. Raj Purohit, and Dr. Varsha Vadegaonkar, heads of the various departments, professors and faculty members from this university and various other universities and institutions, research scholars, and dear participants. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all for the valedictory function of 6 days lecture series on the theme Zoology in 21st Century as a part of celebration of Diamond Jubilee year of this prestigious university and Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. This lecture series was an opportunity to meet great scientists who are stalwarts in their research field. The speakers were from USA, Saudi Arabia, and various parts of the country. There were deliberations on diverse topics such as problems related to infertility and how to overcome it with assisted reproduction, symbiotic interactions during embryonic development, and we learned the concept that we, as a human being or any organism on this earth, is not a single entity, but we are harboring hundreds and thousands of ecosystems in our body. Like pancreas have pancreatic ecosystem, liver has ecosystem of its own, intestine has its own ecosystem, oral flora or mouth itself, buccal cavity itself is an individual ecosystem, our skin itself is an ecosystem. And this concept we understood from very astonishing talk of Professor Gilbert sir. Then we had a very lucid talk of Dr. Sharda Sawant madam, scientist from ACTEC, on transmission electron microscopy. Then from Barjo sir, yesterday we have enjoyed a lot about applications of PCR, RT-PCR, microarray technology, and we have gone through a virtual tour of his excellent lab. Then we have enjoyed a lecture of Dr. Raju Purohit sir on understanding water balance in insects. We have undergone a tour, virtual tour, because of Dr. Khote's immense contribution from BNHS, role of natural history collection in research. Then Dr. Vaingankar sir had explained us biodiversity of northern western Ghats. Then technology-driven wildlife research was a feast that we had today itself in the morning session from our guest of the honor, Dr. Borkar sir. And it was a historic and well-proud feeling moment to listen Professor Scott Gilbert, author of world-renowned book Developmental Biology. And just now, my friend Dr. Sunil has shared the figure how many people have actually witnessed the beautiful lecture of Professor Scott Gilbert. Over the last 6 days, we had deep insights into diverse and very interesting topics delivered by world-class scientists and researchers, which was an intellectual feast on the occasion of Diamond Jubilee year of this university. I hope this lecture series helped the participants to expand their horizons. I am very much grateful to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, Honorable Registrar Sir, Honorable Dean of Science and Technology for their constant support and encouragement to undertake such academic programs. I would like to thank and acknowledge all the resource persons for accepting our invitation. I thank participants from all over the country for making this lecture series a great success. Your huge response encouraged us to organize such academic programs as a regular activity of the department. I once again thank one and all. Due to your kind cooperation, this lecture series gained a great success. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bilavi sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Professor Ashish Deshmukh sir. Now we come back to the feedback for the participants. We had a great list of the participants, those who were interested in giving their feedback, but due to the constraint of the time, we have just selected a few of them. Now, first, may I request Ms. Swapnali Desai, the CR of the MSc Part 2, to give her feedback. Ms. Swapnali Desai, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Swapnali Desai, and I am here to share feedback on behalf of our students of Zoology Department of Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Zoology in the 21st Century lecture series was a really mesmerizing experience for all of us. For that, I'm thankful to the president of this program and Vice Chancellor of the Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Professor D.T. Shirke sir, Pro Vice Chancellor P.S. Patil sir, and Registrar V.N. Shinde sir, Convener A. Deshmukh sir, and Organizing Secretary S.M. Gaikwad sir, and Organizing Committee. The series is like a knowledge feast for us. We are able to test many subjects, and some of them are really new for us. The lectures are not only knowledge adding, but also provide us new insights while studying zoology in the 21st century. The response of the participants was really amazing, and it helps, and their questions also helps us to widen our horizon, or to think multidimensionally about zoological subjects. Due to time limit, I will not extend my speech further. And last but not the least, we all agree that knowledge has a beginning, but no end. I'm sure Shivaji University will come up for such a programs in coming years to add knowledge to students. And I'm really thankful for giving me a chance to express my words. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Swapnali Desai. Now, may I call upon Mr. Birazdar NB, the research scholar from the Department of Zoology, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, to give his feedback. Mr. Birazdar, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dignitaries on the platform, all my beloved teachers, research students, MSc Part 1, Part 2 students, and all my dear friends. Since COVID 2019, we were all waiting for such a program because in last 1-2 years, such a feast was not happened because of COVID reasons and all. But whatever the feast we have of knowledge we have enjoyed in last 1 week, that has made up for whatever we were waiting from the last 2 years. It was an incredible experience. Many new horizons of knowledge have broadened up. Many new concepts have been learned, have been visualized. There are no words to express how much grateful we are as a researchers, what the insights of research that are going on currently that we have experienced. It was a very, very incredible experience. I thank to everyone, to the Honorable Chancellor Sir, Pro Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar Sir, to the conveyor, to the organizing committee, to everyone who made an effort in making this program a success. And thank you one and all. Before I end, I want to share that one of the 6 rules of success is to think about what we can contribute to our fellow member around us that might need help in the form of knowledge or in the form of any other resource. So why all the peoples that we have listened up in the last week are so much successful in their lives are because they follow this 6th rule of success. So that is what we have learned. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to express. And on behalf of all the research students from Department of Zoology, we are very, very thankful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Birazdar. Now may I call upon Dr. Mrs. Shanti Desai from University of Goa. Dr. Ms. Shanti Desai, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. With due respect to the President and the Registrar of Shivaji University, Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir, and to the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Manoj Borkar, sir, who happens to be my teacher too at undergraduate. Let me start my feedback for this lecture series. There are some points which I want to bring it to the notice to as far as the organizers are concerned, which were extraordinary. In fact, they have accommodated a great number of participants through the Zoom meeting as well as through the live streaming, which was a commendable thing what they did with their smooth and non-interrupted internet connectivity. Secondly, the choice of speakers was highly appreciable, keeping up to the mark with the recent NAC accreditation what they received. All the speakers, whoever were national as well as international speakers, provided not only the zoological knowledge, the core knowledge, but also emphasized on the applied components using the modern techniques. And also the speakers, almost all the speakers who extended their support for the future interactions and collaborations too. This lecture series will be always remembered by me because one of the thing which was in mind when I looked at this lecture series invitation was Sir Gilbert sir's lecture, which will be a milestone as far as this lecture series is concerned. Because we know, I refer to my students the authored book by him as the Bible of the Developmental Biology. So it was a great time to have him on online for the online interaction too, through this lecture series for the zoology student. And above all, a big clap to most of the all the organizers who actively participated through their collaborations and through their participation as MSc students, as a teachers, as a researchers who will be taking something or the other to go or to move forward through this knowledge which was extended to this platform. Yeah, thank you, sir, and over to the organizers now.
Thank you, Mrs. Shanti Desai, madam. Now, may I call upon Dr. Mrs. Mangal Chavan from University of Mumbai to give her feedback. Dr. Mangal Chavan, madam, please. Dr. Mrs. Mangal Chavan, please. I hope she is there. I hope she is there. If she is not there, should we proceed?
She is there, sir. Let me.
Hello,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yeah. Please, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon to one and all. Seminar, the part of professional development, provides us a chance to share the knowledge, to interact, discuss with the experts from the specific fields, and all tends to learn about the latest information, new skills, new techniques, teaching styles, and confidence. So seminars are very important, and the Kolhapur University, we are very thankful that you have kept 6 days continuously. You have engaged us for the 6 days, and the topics, varied topics you have taken. I, Dr. Mangal Chavan, Assistant Professor, GN Khalsa College, Matunga, Mumbai. From the Mumbai University, I am really thankful to this one, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Pro Vice Chancellor, and the Registrar of Kolhapur University, as well as I am very thankful to the convener, Deshmukh sir, and Organizing Secretary Gaikwad sir. Really, you have planned in a very what we can say systematic way. You have organized all this, and the other organizing committee members also. The technical, nothing problem took place, and smoothly the 6 days that lecture series, you get succeeded in that. And really all it's an amalgamation of pure sciences plus applied sciences in that. And the, what we can say, the national level, international level, the various types of scientists you have put, and as well as the eminent speakers. Morning we heard about the Borkar sir, and really the different techniques he has shown, like put forward, like different hidden cameras, how they are put, and slowly he turned towards what, from the traditional to the nowadays, whatever that DNA barcoding is done, the phylogenetic tree is getting created. So it's a really fantastic sessions you have organized for us. So I'm very thankful. And also during all the sessions, you allowed the maximum interactions. Whatever questions we have put, you have raised that question in front of all the speakers. They have answered very nicely and very lucid way they have explained. And really we are happy that with that healthy environment throughout the session get created. So I'm thankful to all expertise you have took in the various types of fields. And really the organizing committee, that technical properly, not a single technical issue has occurred, and you've been succeeded in that. So congratulations that for completion of this 6 days in the proper way, that seminars, that 6 days online sessions. And we will be very thankful for if you in future also, if you organize this type of sessions. Thank you for giving me opportunity to provide my things, talk with you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Mangal Chavan, madam. Thanks a lot. Now, once again, we all are very fortunate to listen to Dr. Manoj Borkar sir. Now, may I request Dr. Manoj Borkar sir, Head, Department of Zoology, Carmel College, Nuam, Goa, to give the valedictory address in the capacity of the chief guest of the valedictory function. Dr. Manoj Borkar sir, please.
Thank you so much. And once again, a very pleasant good afternoon to everybody. To start with, the senior functionaries of the university, Shivaji University, Kolhapur, Honorable Professor Shirke, Professor Patil, Professor Shinde, my friend and fraternity colleague, Dr. Sunil Gaikwad, his colleagues at the Department of Zoology at the University of Kolhapur. Of course, to all the delegates who've been here with the event for last 6 days, as most of the speakers have showered praises and accolades, and rightly so, because I think this has been a knowledge feast for as many as 6 days with a bouquet of intellectuals. I'm keeping myself out from that bouquet. But yes, you've had somebody of the stature of Professor Gilbert and Dr. Avari and others who've really, kind of very liberally shared the expertise and views. And I'm sure and certain that this would have benefited everybody, not only in the teaching fraternity, but also among the student community. Well, I have very little to say about the utility and I believe the kind of smooth sailing that the organizers have had in the last 6 days. It has been commendable. But what I want to do is use this entitlement as a guest for the valedictory function to raise focus on a few pertinent issues in terms of challenges that the universities and colleges are facing today in 2021, particularly given this kind of, as I said in the morning, a very precarious situation, extraordinary times of confinement to our homes, very little physical interaction, and largely depending on the virtual mode of communication and pedagogy. And I have a few observations to share with everybody here that I believe if I compare myself and my student days way back in the 80s, when I was probably your age in the sense, the student age group, and if I look at the students today, I feel, the present day students are super connected in terms of knowledge sources. I mean, they have great connectivity, thanks again to technology. They are less rebellious, they are more tolerant, but they are less happy. And it's my conviction, I'm not too sure if you would agree with me, but I believe they are a little underprepared or unprepared for a career adulthood. I mean, there are too many confusions in the mind. I remember in the 80s, the major distractions were alcohol, cigarette, drugs, parties. Today, that is not the issue. No, I don't think the youth is more into all these ills. But for some strange reason, they are not paying attention in the class. They are not reading the course material. I think the only music that kind of enthuses them is the, as you say, the siren song of smartphones. There is a study that on an average, a youth in this age group spends approximately 9 hours a day on electronic devices of all kinds. And I'm a little worried, both as a teacher, as also a parent. And I think many of you probably relate to my apprehension and my anxiety on this excessive cyber technology, in a sense that we're almost getting addicted, that we've forgotten to read, we've forgotten to write. I have to be telling with a lot of conviction, tell your students, tell your children that multitasking is a myth. That's my, my personal opinion. I think the brain can focus only on one thing at a time. So all people who claim to be very good at multitasking, I feel is a fallacy in my personal opinion. I think we have to be encouraging students to read the course material, to prepare notes. So I want to share something with you that students who've been literally writing on the notebooks, as against those who type notes in the class or as we discuss. I have my students, I teach at the undergraduate level, and whenever I give any instructions, be it in connection with my laboratory class or maybe in the classroom, they start immediately typing it on their smartphones. And I feel pretty aggrieved with that because I think they're losing the habit of writing. And I think there's a very clear research establishing that those who write perform better than those who type. Let me say this with a lot of conviction. I think this needs to be, and also I've seen people late in the midnight kind of still hooked on to the smartphones. I need to say this because we're all zoologists. The blue light emitted by your smart devices is known to inhibit melatonin secretion, which is your sleep hormone. So if you got deficits of melatonin titers, you suffer from sleep deprivation. And if you suffer from sleep deprivation, you are a candidate for depression, anxiety, chronic anxiety, and probably, you lose on your health. So I think this is very important that while in the morning, I certainly spoke about the cutting edge technology in pursuit of our research. I think there's a limit to how much we get hooked on by this technology, and we also need to understand the how would I put it, the importance of the classical pedagogy, the hard work that we used to put in once upon a time, preparing notes and kind of reading. Reading is a dying habit. I think I have a little, I would say I am extremely anxious and a little apprehensive about the whole thing. I think the second issue that I would quickly like to dwell upon, and one of the delegate who gave a feedback, Mr. Birazdar, I suppose, who's representing the research fraternity,
Yes.
students at the university. He did speak about, in the morning, I think he's the one who asked me, probably if I remember right, how do we go about garnering funds? And, probably there are a lot of ideas, but for the ideas to manifest and materialize, you need a lot of funding support. So I think the universities, the higher education in general, the new education policy, hopefully we're keeping our fingers crossed, and I hope these issues are recognized. But all said and done, it's very important that the universities and colleges recognize this challenge of funding for innovation. Any kind of innovative research, new ideas must be supported. I know these are very difficult fiscal times and there are lots of constraints, but I think the authorities must try to earmark a certain budget to support this kind of bright ideas and thinking out of box. That's very important. But I would make a fervent appeal and an earnest effort to everybody to invest more towards fostering in the power of partnership. I said this in the morning, and let me reiterate: nothing like handholding with the resourceful people. I mean, it's a lovely synergy and partnership between the haves and have-nots. If you are at par intellectually, it's very important. I think we have to be able to have an education system where the progress, we are all talking about the educational progress, and there are tall claims about how many achievements we have to our credit, but I think finally what really matters is education progress is to be measured only by one single scale, and that is how useful is your education to your society, to your state, and to your nation. I think if on these three counts the answers are not very convincing, we need to introspect, we need to kind of ask few probably not very comfortable questions which the policymakers may not like to hear. But yes, I think the conviction is in whatever we seek to do, whether it's a pursuit of a course, a kind of research, some sort of an outreach program, some kind of innovative programs. Please remember, the society is the most important stakeholder, because universities and the public education systems, unless it's a private university, is all funded by the people's money. I think the fund comes from the population, and we definitely owe something to the society. So this is all that I would like to say as a teacher who spent 34 years attempting to make a small change in my own little sphere of work. And I hope and pray that this enthusiasm shown by Professor Gaikwad and all his colleagues, Professor Deshmukh, the head of the faculty, is pretty enthusiastic. I was watching with a lot of interest the way he kind of expresses excitement about Professor Gilbert and the lecture that just ended. Let that enthusiasm not die. We age, but I think the enthusiasm should defy in all kinds of geriatric progression. We should be, they say a good researcher is the one who will ask a question with the enthusiasm and the innocence of a child. That's the hallmark of a good researcher. So I think in our practice of our education and our research investigation, let that enthusiasm not die ever. This is all that I would like to say. Once again, thank you so much for making me a part of this prestigious event. Shivaji University has always been very dear to me. I've been a student of the Bombay University, but I have more friends in Shivaji University now than in Mumbai University, which is my alma mater. I look forward to greater collaborations and partnership on knowledge events like this in days to come. Thank you so much. Namaskar ani Jai Maharashtra. Thank you so much. back to the convener, please.
Yeah. Bilal sir?
Yes, sir. May I continue?
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Manoj Borkar, sir, for giving us the very nice valedictory address in the capacity of the chief guest. Now, I will call upon Dr. V.N. Shinde. I call upon Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir. But before I to deliver the presidential address for all of you, I would like to say Dr. V.N. Shinde. He is a registrar of our university, and he has an immense contribution, especially in the field of the water conservation. I will not go in the in-depth academic scenario and all other things, but what I want participants to know about Dr. V.N. Shinde is that few years back, our country was thirsty for the water. Here, when I say thirsty, actually it is the scarcity of water in the Kolhapur district. And our university is having number of water bodies on the campus. So it was under the leadership of the Dr. V.N. Shinde that we could provide the water to the entire whole city with the help of the tankers. This is the greatest achievement, or what I can say, the significant contribution of Dr. V.N. Shinde to the society. So with this, I call upon V.N. Shinde to deliver the presidential address. Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir.
Thank you, sir. Chief guest of valedictory function of this 6-day lecture series organized by Department of Zoology, Professor Manoj Borkar, sir. Head of the department and convener of this lecture series, Professor A. Deshmukh, sir. Organizing secretary, Dr. S.M. Gaikwad, sir. Teachers from Zoology department of various parts of Maharashtra and even India, and my student friends. In this lecture series, organized from 17th January 22 to this 22nd January 22, was full with flavor of expertise and knowledge from different parts of India, and also few lectures were organized from the speakers from abroad. 12 resource persons had delivered their lectures in this series. Listening such a great personalities is always a nice experience. Such type of lecture series are useful to enrich our knowledge with the experience and contribution of such great personalities. As a registrar, I am very happy to note that around 130 plus participants were present for this even online lecture series. And to check this only, I joined, though I am from physics department, I am a student of physics subject. I joined this program at around 2:55 p.m. and found 127 participants were present for this online lecture. It's great success, and I congratulate all the organizers, head of the department, for such type of grand success. Professor Borkar, sir, had rightly pointed out the way of using the smart devices by young generation. I am also worried about this, but today only I was having a very nice experience. Just 8 years old kid was telling me what will happen if the ozone layer diminishes, or what may happen if Earth is having mass more than Sun. Such type of questions were just raised by a son of one of our staff member, and I was very happy to see that. I asked that fellow kid, how you are interested in such type of things, and who inspired you? A very amazing answer was from him. Just I was joining lectures online in online mode from our school, and in between there were interval, and during that interval I was just searching the questions which were in my mind. Then I asked that fellow how you are spelling the terms. Then his answer was that I was giving phonetic message to Google, and Google is answering to me. Such type of use of all smart devices is expected from this young generation, and I humbly request all youths participating in this particular lecture series to use your all smart devices just to enrich our knowledge and not for entertainment. Entertainment mode should be avoided by all peoples. let me clear one thing. I am having Facebook account. I am having Twitter account. Everything is with me, but all these appliances or modes are used for the public awareness or to give certain type of knowledge. I am having my blog too. Even on my blog, there are articles which will be useful for your knowledge enrichment. And the same expectation is from my side, from you. And I humbly request once again to use your smart devices to enrich our knowledge and not for entertainment. As far as zoology subject is concerned, and zoology, what animals are doing, there is only one example I will quote and I will stop, because I had already explained that I am a physics student and not zoology student. So after 12th, I had never seen any topic or book on this particular subject. Bees. As a nature lover, as an observer of trees, because balance in between land, forest, and water is very essential to maintain and sustain the ecosystem. That is understanding as far as myself is concerned. And therefore, I am just now, before my speech, during introduction, it was told that I had worked for water. It is, of course, a teamwork from our university for that particular success. And during such type of activities, I am reading the trees. And during when I am reading the trees, then several animals, insects, bees are coming across. Of course, material from the books is also coming across. And just few points I am keeping in my mind, which will be such type of points may come across in future. And bees, that example just I will quote. About 1/3 of the world's food depends on the pollination done by the bees. Many of the Earth's plants, about 30% of the world's crop and 90% of wild plants depends on these little heroes. That is very important thing one should note. And with this particular point, the study of zoology and all subjects is very important. Interlinking, understanding the interlinks between all these subjects is also important. And for such type of understanding, such type of lecture series are really beneficial. And once again, I congratulate all the organizers for arranging such type of even online lecture series, which is attended by more than 130 students in online mode. And that is grand success. And with these words, once again, congratulating the organizers and thanking all the organizers, I take leave with this my words. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir. Now, may I call upon Dr. M.V. Valvekar to give the vote of thanks, please. Dr. M.V. Valvekar, madam, please.
Firstly, I would like to congratulate the convener of this Zoology in 21st Century online lecture series, Professor A. Deshmukh, and organizing secretary, Dr. S.N. Gayakwad, for making this online lecture series a grand successful event. They have put their sincere effort for well organizing the sessions by arranging the lectures of renowned scientists of various fields of zoology. Thanks to both of them. Thanks to the chief guests of today's valedictory function, Dr. Manoj Borkar, the head Department of Zoology, Carmel College, Goa. They have given very nice guidance to our students. Yes, so we definitely agree that instead of multitasking, our students should focus on one task, that is, they have to focus on their goal. And we are also saying that they should be emphasized on the writing and the reading habits. and which is very, very essential. Yes, sir, we are 100% agree with your opinion. Thank you very much, sir. Also, I'm very much thankful to our registrar, Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir. In spite of busy administrative schedule, our registrar, Dr. V.N. Shinde, sir, had given time for this valedictory function. Yes, we know that he is a very, very famous blog writer. We are the regular reader of his blog, and we also appreciate him. We are proud of that. He is a best writer, book writer, blog writer, and best administrator. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you on behalf of the Department of Zoology for your kind cooperation, your constant support to our department. Thanks to all our MSc students, MSc Part 1, Part 2 student, research students, all the college teachers who has attended this series. Thanks to all our administrative staff. This thanks to the organizing secretary, convener, and the organizing committee. Thanks each and everyone. Thank you, Vanana. And with the permission of chair, I declare that this Zoology in 21st Century online lecture series, it is over. Thank you to all.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you.
There is one announcement. Feedback link is shared on chat box. So once you fill that feedback link, you will get the certificate on your email. Even then, if you facing the problem to get the certificate, just you reply to the email on which you have got the link of this lecture series, so that we can solve the problem of your e-certificate. With this, Deshmukh sir, you want to say something?
No, sir. Yeah, we will conclude it now.
Yeah. So once again, I thank all the participants, my colleague, the speakers of this lecture series, known and unknown persons who have supported us for the grand success of this lecture series. With this, I declare that this lecture series is over with grand success. Thank you one and all.